Shalom Yerushalayim Zeu Shari Rashechem
Hello, everyone. And as we say, Gmar Chatima Tova. That's the greeting for Day of Atonement. Today is Sunday, and we are just a couple of hours before the holiest day of the year will start here in Israel. It's this day is the most sacred day that we have in our calendar. The sanctity of Day of Atonement takes over even the sanctity of Shabbat. When God speaks about Shabbat and naming it the day of Sabbath, we understand that this is a very special day for him. And indeed, when other high holidays, when they fall on Shabbat, we see that Shabbat takes preference. Shabbat's holiness is higher than the holiness or the sanctity of the high holiday. But it is not the case with Day of Atonement. Day of Atonement is called a Sabbath of Sabbath, Shabbat Shabbaton, in the book of Leviticus. And from that, we understand that the sanctity of Shabbat, of Day of Atonement, is greater than the sanctity even of Shabbat. So let's say if Day of Atonement takes place on Shabbat, we fast on that day. Even though Shabbat is a day of indulgence and luxury and comfort and joy, and when Day of Atonement falls on Shabbat, all of those things don't take place. We fast on that day. And as it says in Psalm 2, we see that the whole thing about Day of Atonement is to rejoice before him with trembling. It's still rejoicing. It is a celebration. It is a high holiday. We must celebrate and feel the joy, but with trembling. We don't. We celebrate the fact that we are going to be given a good verdict, and we are going to be given another year, and God is going to have us back and forgive and atone our sins, yet we do it with trembling because we never take it for granted, and we don't take lightly the sanctity of this day. On Day of Atonement used to be the only day in our calendar in which the high priest used to go into Holy of Holies for just a very short visit. It's not like he spent the entire day in the Holy of Holies. It was only a short visit in more or less at noontime. Wearing special, very specific designated garments with a very specific sacrifice, and he used to go into the holiest place for a very short period of time with a very short prayer, which was written in advance. Every year the same one. It was a fixed one. We have the lines that he used to pray there. It was basically a prayer for the children of Israel and also for the entire world, so that there is rain, and it was a prayer for the fruit of the womb to last, and the crops in the fields, and a year of peace with no wars. It was very short, only like 7 or 8 sentences, a very short paragraph, which he used to say, and that came, of course, from the idea that a person cannot rely on himself. A human being cannot trust himself to be focused and concentrated for an extended period of time. And of course, being in Holy of Holies, we would have to, the high priest would have to make sure that he is totally concentrated on that event alone, and his mind doesn't just, wander off. So it was only very short. And here we are coming to this day, a day of forgiveness, and it seems that there was the one book in the Bible that really conveys the message of God's forgiveness is the book of Jonah. Jonah doesn't believe that forgiveness is possible. Jonah doesn't believe that a wicked city, an evil city like Nineveh has the ability to return to God, even though God is sending him there to convey that message. But Jonah doesn't want to go because he doesn't believe in that. He's saying, no, it can't be, because you're a God of truth. And when you are the God of truth, you see sin all the time. You can't just ignore it. And Jonah is refusing to go, and he doesn't want that mission because he doesn't believe in it. And Jonah is saying, if you ever forgive, utterly forgive, like completely forgive, then you're not the truthful God that you claim that you are. There is no truth in you. Jonah is implying that criticism in chapter 4 when he repeats the words of Moses, omitting deliberately the word truth from God's virtues. And God is, and we read the book of Jonah because we need the words of God as the word that he replied to Jonah, and he said, "Won't I spare even Nineveh?" I created Nineveh. I created all living creatures, all human beings. All these tens of thousands of people and animals and all of that. Can I just blot them all out in like this? This is such a strong encouragement for us sitting there at the synagogue or anywhere we are, thinking about us returning and asking ourselves the question, can it really be? Can he really forgive? Is forgiveness really possible? And the answer is yes, it is possible. And we get that encouragement from the words that God said to Jonah. And I just, I pray for all of us to live up, to see God's ability to forgive and to cover our sins and to have us back with love and with mercy. And I hope that we can all be at that place of willingness, of wanting to really return to Him without feeling afraid to pay the price, because it always comes with a price when it comes to God. Without feeling afraid to pay the price and to really do it the way that we are called to do it. And may this year be a blessed one, a good one, a better one, a year in which we see wonders and all good things that we can ever wish for, and of course a year in which we see Mashiach coming to us and redemption becoming fulfilled and alive in the world. So I just need to greet you all, not with Shabbat Shalom as usual, because it's not Shabbat. We say Gemar Chatima Tova. Have a final good sealing, because our names are signed and sealed in all the books on Day of Atonement. So Gemar Chatima Tova to you all.